Let's be real. If you're a contractor, you know this feeling all too well. You spend all day on the tools, doing what you love, but then your second shift starts. In this explainer, we're going to dive into the single biggest headache for anyone in the trades, that never-ending pile of admin work that's secretly holding your business hostage. Man, this quote just hits different, doesn't it? Your skill, your craft, that's what gets you the great reputation. But it's the business side of things, the quoting, the missed calls, the late-night invoicing, that's literally stealing your time and your sanity. Yeah, I thought so. That feeling of being pulled in two different directions, it's not just a small annoyance, is it? For thousands of incredibly skilled tradespeople, it's the day in, day out reality of trying to run a business. Let's break down what that actually looks like. This is the daily grind we're talking about, right? You're up on a ladder, your phone rings, and boom, that's a potential job just gone. You finally get home, totally wiped out, only to crack open the laptop and start your second job. You know, the one you don't even get paid for. You are literally working two full-time jobs, but only one of them pays the bills. So let's really put a name to this problem. We're calling it the contractor's second shift. It's all that invisible, unpaid labor that kicks in long after you've packed up the tools for the day. And this right here, this says it all, doesn't it? On one side, you've got your actual trade, the very reason you went into business for yourself. And on the other, you've got the admin work, that mountain of stress that you just have to climb to keep the lights on. One of these builds your legacy. The other one just drains your will to live. Look, this isn't just about feeling wiped out at the end of the day. This stuff has a real hard cost, both in your time and in your bank account. Let's actually put some numbers to it. 12. Yeah, 12 hours. That's how much time the average contractor is losing every single week to admin tasks. I mean, just think about that for a second. That's nearly 1.5 full workdays every single week spent on unpaid stuff. That's over 50 hours a month that could have been billable work or, hey, maybe just time with your family. And if you thought the time was bad, wait till you see the money. $400,000. That's the potential yearly revenue you could be losing just from a few missed calls a week. And it's not because you're bad at your job. It's because you physically can't be on a roof and on the phone at the exact same time. So what happens? Well, you get caught in this nasty trap. We call it the burnout cycle. You work your tail off all day, you do paperwork all night, and eventually you just get exhausted. So you slow down to catch your breath. But that means quotes and calls start piling up, and you lose momentum and income. So you have to work even harder to catch up, and the cycle just starts all over again, locking you in place. Okay, so how in the world do you break out of that cycle? The answer is automation. But, and this is a big but, you can't just automate chaos. Before you can flip any switches, you have to build a solid foundation first. I love this quote because it's the perfect way to think about it. You're not just buying some complicated software. You're basically hiring the most perfect employee you could ever imagine. One that answers every single call, sends every quote on time, and never, ever calls in sick. So this whole foundation thing, it really just comes down to 3 simple pillars. First, you've got your system. That's just your step-by-step process for how you do things. Second is the software, the actual tools you'll use. And third, the flow. This is the magic part, where you connect those tools so information zips around automatically, without you having to lift a finger. Okay, so where do you even begin? Forget about the tech for a second. The very first thing you gotta do is just map out your process. What happens when a new lead calls? Then what? How do you send a quote? What's the step after they book? Just getting this down on paper is the most crucial first step. It becomes the literal blueprint for your new automated business. All right, that's enough of the theory. Let's get into the good stuff and look at a real-world example of how this all comes together to completely change the game. So for a lot of people, the gateway to all this is what's called an AI receptionist. And don't let that AI part scare you off. It's really just a smart tool that makes sure you never, ever miss a lead again. It answers every call, sounds totally professional, and kicks off your whole automated system in an instant. Just look at how powerful this is in real time. It's 9:05 in the morning, a painter's on a ladder, a call comes in. His AI receptionist answers right away, grabs all the info, and by 9:06, it's already in his system. A minute later, the customer gets a friendly text, and by 9:10 a.m., we're talking 5 minutes here, a quote is already sitting in their inbox. And the painter? He hasn't even climbed down yet. The system even follows up 2 days later if it doesn't hear back. This is your second shift getting done for you while you do your first. And the result? I mean, come on. 0 missed leads. And get this, his bookings literally doubled in just 3 months, all without the massive cost and headache of hiring a full-time office manager. That is the power of a good system. But when you really boil it all down, this isn't about being more efficient. It's not even just about the money. It's about getting back something way, way more valuable. It's about freedom. I mean, just look at this chart. It's insane. On the left, you've got the old way, a crazy 22 hours a week on admin. Now look at the right, 2. Just 2 hours. See, you're not getting rid of the work. You're just delegating it to your automated employee. So what does that really mean over the course of a year? It's over 1,000 hours. Think about that. 1,000 hours of your life just handed back to you. Because let's be honest, right? You didn't start your own business because you dreamed of being a paperwork wizard. You started it to be your own boss, to build something with your own 2 hands, and to have some freedom. Systems and automation, they're just the tools that finally let you cash in on that original promise. So I want to leave you with this one last question. What would you do with an extra 1,000 hours a year? Would you take on more of those high-profit jobs? Coach your kids' baseball team? Or maybe, just maybe, finally take that vacation you've been putting off? The possibilities are pretty amazing when your business finally starts working for you and not the other way around.